Hey guys, you join me back here at Allcarnews, and we are getting a first look at the 2025 Ram 1500 lineup here with this all-new top spec tungsten model. Whoa! The Ram 1500 is going to be very widely expanding very soon with the all-new Ram Charger plug-in hybrid as well as the full electric model. But for now, we have an all-new lineup of gas engines as well as a refreshed look for the entire 1500 lineup. And this right here is the highest output gas engine we can get now. No longer is a V8, but it does have the new Hurricane Inline-6 under the hood with around 540 horsepower. So let's go check out what this full luxury truck can do and what you're going to be getting for the $90,000 as tested price tag. Now, under the hood here of the Ram 1500 in this high output version is the new Hurricane Inline-6 of the Stellantis group, and we're going to be seeing this engine across a variety of new models from Jeep, Dodge, Ram, and a few other brands as well. And this particular application is making 540 horsepower and similar numbers in terms of torque. Now, even with this paired to this 8-speed automatic transmission, it still is going to be towing just under 12,000 pounds, which is undercutting some of the competitors by around 1,000-ish pounds. So we would like to see those tow numbers up just a little bit for the 1500, but you have to remember the Ram Charger plug-in hybrid will be coming with a 14,000 pound tow rating. So it may be a plug-in hybrid powertrain, but I think that's going to be the one to go if you're going to want to tow the most in a Ram. This engine, I have to say, even though it's replacing pretty much all of the V8s in the Ram lineup, it's pretty good. Plenty of power, it's very smooth, and provides all of that torque very low in the rev range. Reliability, all those other terms, we're going to have to see how this handles out long term, though this is going to be a new, unique lineup within the pickup truck range. Now, this in terms of fuel economy, it isn't going to be super strong for this particular high output version. You're going to be seeing around 18 to 21 and maybe 15 to 21 miles per gallon if you are kind of pushing it a little bit harder. The thing is, if you do go for the entry-level Ram 1500 vehicles, you will actually be getting the old Pentastar V6 with that e-torque 48 volt mild hybrid system. If you do want a little bit more fuel economy, though, power is going to jump all the way down just around below the 400 horsepower range. Definitely impressed with this engine though so far. It may be a little bit quiet for my own personal likings versus old V8 or some other inline-6s, but really strong power, and this thing pulls like a freight train when you are really on it. Okay guys, taking a tour of the exterior of the face of the Ram 1500, we do have an all-new key fob design over here, which honestly is quite nice, especially for this tungsten model. You do get this unique look finish to it, and there's quite a nice bit of controls on here, from lock unlock to open the power tailgate, lower the air suspension down to an entry height, as well as starting up the vehicle. And we are also getting some really nice new headlight animations when you are unlocking your new 1500. Check that out. Definitely going to be a nice, more premium touch, but we also are getting a revised front fascia design. And this one is finished in the billet silver paint, which is a nice touch, I think, for this tungsten model, though it would be nice to have a little bit of a bolder color. Up front here, each of the Ram models are going to be getting a unique grille design, pretty much what we've seen on other F-150 trims as well, and other competitors like to kind of switch it up with the grille designs across models. This one is getting a nice bright kind of chrome work finish along the entire front end of it, as well as a nice prominent Ram logo. You can see your 360-degree view camera systems, as well as a radar sensor down on the bottom. We also are getting LED fog lights on this particular 1500 on the tungsten, which are stocked, and I think they do look quite nice overall. And on the top of the hood here is really the newest indication this is a 2025 1500, this SST HO. HO standing for high output, and of course SST standing for this new 3-liter twin turbo inline-6 under the hood. So overall, pretty nice design changes up front on the 1500. This particular tungsten model is also getting body color trim, as well as a little bit of a lower air deflector, and it's not really meant for off-roading. You're going to want to get the off-road package or go for a different level of the 1500 for those, because as you can see over here, while these wheels are pretty nice and luxurious, these are definitely more of a road-focused tire for this pickup truck, and that is going to definitely improve some comfort and road noise on the inside, though it may reduce all-terrain capability that you may be looking for in this particular segment. But as a luxury truck, I think it's doing quite well, and behind that is hiding a four-corner air suspension system, which honestly works quite well. You have plenty of adjustment, and it likes to go into ever mode on the highway, which is definitely going to help with some fuel economy. Coming over to the side here, as it is a tungsten model, we do have the new tungsten trim over here, so you see that unique logo with the Ram badge. And on the sides here, we are also getting retractable and deployable foot place. So opening up the door here, they do pop down pretty quick and easy, so it makes it a little bit of an easier process to get inside. I do really like this nice little Ram logo accent on the side here. A lot of Easter eggs on this new 1500. And on this left-hand side, we are also going to have our fuel filler cap, pretty nice and sleekly integrated over there. And of course, we have the Ram boxes as well mounted onto the side of the bed. These do open up pretty easily. They are lockable as well with a key. And you have a decent amount of storage in here with drains, and you have your little outlet over here, as well as some interior lighting for this Ram box. So if you're at night, you kind of want to illuminate a little bit, that is a nice option to have. And it's very well weather sealed, it looks like, so hopefully there won't be any rain getting in there. And it shuts up pretty well. And also like the branding across this Ram box, I think it's a really nice touch. Around to the rear of the 1500, we are also getting some LED taillight animations when you are starting and locking up your truck. We also do get a power rear tailgate, which is a really nice luxurious feature here. It opens up with the touch of the key fob, and it opens up to a pretty well-sized rear bed. We have a spray and bed liner on this particular one, as well as a nice cargo cover that Ram did provide with this one, or I'm sorry, cargo divider, so that can kind of separate your cargo space in the back here. We do have some nice additional LED lighting in here to provide some nice light, as well as this luxurious looking tonneau cover up top, which also is a nice touch. This bed itself is pretty, again, well strong, very nice grips on here, and I do have some little spots here. It looks like for some cups or something for a cup holder, which is also a cool touch. And it is full power closing as well. You also are getting a side step over here, so you can kind of pull this down if you want to step into the bed a little bit easier. It's really easy to open and close as well, just on the side there. And of course, you can optionally get the split rear tailgate, which personally I'm not the biggest fan of, especially for the Rams. It kind of looks a little funky. This is a little bit more of a cleaner, sleeker look design, especially with the body colored rear bumper and dual exhaust tips on this particular Tungsten model. Very nice, luxurious look. Now getting inside to the 1500, we're going to open up the rear doors here because this space truly is massive. Again, nothing too big over the previous Gen 1500s, though this interior of the Tungsten model definitely takes a really high step up. Being the fully loaded Ram here, you are getting a lot of nice materials. This is like kind of white, blue, or they call it indigo style interior. So we have blue and white leather everywhere, from this really nice stitching pattern on the doors to this awesome trim design. And we have a Klipsch audio system in here, a reference style audio system. And there's speakers literally mounted throughout this entire cabin. I also have a nice amount of storage over here, plenty of storage spaces, and there's even more storage throughout this entire cabin. We have these unique Tungsten style formats here with the Tungsten badge, and of course Ram badge. You have this nice kind of contrasting copper brown piping around it. And open up this little cover here, we unlock some underfloor storage over here, which is a nice little touch if you want to put some things in here. We even have a little ruler on here as a nice little Easter egg. Love that little feature. And this is nice and hidden over here under this format, and it's secured by these little latches there. These seats themselves also do flip up if you want some additional storage, so I can actually just push this seat up. That also splits up on that side. So not only do you have underfloor storage over here, but you can also increase the space of this rear area here and just shove suitcases or things in there, which I have done actually already. So that's a pretty nice touch. And that does lock up there so it doesn't just flop around all the place. Let's hop inside. We have our deployable running boards. Getting inside is, wow, this place is huge in here. And I truly do mean this is a really, really spacious interior. As you can see, there's even more speakers here for your Klipsch audio system mounted on the back of these leather trimmed seats here. These are truly luxurious front seats, but as you can see, for rear passengers, you have so much legroom. I can just literally stretch out here. You also have some rear storage behind those seats, as well as a nice center console here with 2 cup holders, as well as your own air controls, ventilated rear and heated rear seats, a whole bunch of charging solutions as well. And again, that really nice flat floor design to kind of slide across. This centerpiece over here does not appear to have any sort of cup holder. Oh, wait. It does. Yes, even though this is a full-size pickup truck, but seats that can flip up, you do have cup holders back here. And even on this little center console storage section over here, this is well trimmed and designed in the style of this front one here, so they didn't even skimp out on that design as well. So good job, Ram, on making this a nice luxurious interior, even for the rear passengers, which is a nice touch. That folds away, and again, these seats super well trimmed and designed, very comfortable. They're almost like couch-like seats back here, lots of space, and the cabin is even more open with this absolutely massive panoramic glass roof here, of course, that does open up top there. And you can open up this rear glass over here via the front area just to have a little bit of some ventilation going through the back. So this is a really fantastic cabin, I do have to say. Even the door sound is a nice solid thunk over there. You have these leather trimmed handles to get in and out. This is definitely feeling like it might be worth that $90,000 price tag. We do have it as configured right now. Power up and one touch up and down windows as well. Hopping outside is just as easy as getting in. Solid door thunk. And let's go hop into front end to check out this wild interior. Getting into the front of the Ram, we do have keyless access over here, so I can lock and unlock the vehicle from this handle right here. Here we go. Open up the door panels. Again, we have that same nice treatment on these doors. Nice Klipsch audio speakers. And up front here is where you can kind of see all of the controls for your seats, because these are truly luxurious seats. We have massage, we have lumbar support, we have all these individual controls, as well as slide adjustment, memory. And we're just getting on the surface of this as well. One cheap area I do kind of not really like here is this cup holder arrangement here. It's nice that they've included this cup holder here, but it's this unusual like exposed foam that's something you would see in not even like a normal vehicle. Like this does not feel like it's worth $90,000 to me. I wish they kind of redesigned this a little bit. Just a little bit of a personal opinion, but it is a nice touch to have additional cup holders. I also do like this trim for this Tungsten model. It's this kind of unique knurled finish trim that goes around the style of the interior as well as the key. So really nice points there. Also, just check out some of these gorgeous Klipsch speakers throughout this interior. Really nice design. And then we get to the seats up here, and oh, they are so comfortable. They have the Tungsten logo embossed right up there. Lots of padding and adjustments you can even just see on the seats. And they're even well designed too, with this kind of indigo finish wrapped around. One point is up here is this upper portion is not very tightly secured, so we can kind of wiggle around. I've actually noticed the passenger one rattling on the highway sometimes, which is one thing to note. But other than that, this is a gorgeous interior. Let's go hop inside and check it out. Getting inside, again, nice solid door thunk. And this is a truly wild interior from Ram, and just a pickup truck in general. We have an absolutely massive 14.5-inch screen over here, not even including this 10.3-inch passenger display, which can turn on and off as well. You cannot see it as a driver, so you can see it's on. Turn over here, there's a coating here that will not allow you to see that, so that's a really cool touch. One thing I will note is that the design of this button is a little bit quirky. You can kind of see the light flashing in your eye if you're sitting in the passenger seat. That's just one thing I've noted sitting as a passenger, but otherwise it's really nicely well integrated, I think, into the dash. And when it's off, it really blends in nice and well. Starting up the truck is super easy. Put your foot on the brake. It just pops to life really quickly and easily, and you have a nice Tungsten unique graphic on there. You also are getting a Tungsten graphic up there, which kind of stays there at all times. And now you can kind of see all the controls up here for your panoramic glass roof, which is, again, absolutely massive. I love all the controls you have there, as well as those controls for that rear window, which can open and close by the touch of this button pretty easily. So that's just nice if you want to have some more visibility back there. Up here on the dash as well, check out this really nice trim that kind of carries throughout this interior. Build quality is also quite good in here. We have a little bit of a 12-volt outlet and that gorgeous Klipsch speaker up here, which I think is a really nice design. It even illuminates at night. So again, they've done a really cool design of this cohesiveness throughout the interior that I think is working quite well. Steering wheel, again, is wrapped in that indigo style leather. We have that new 3-dimensional Ram logo, more of that nice trim, and all of these button controls on here, which may look a little overwhelming at first, but they are pretty simple to use. We have our drive mode selector right here. We have a whole bunch of different drive modes to cycle through. Sport, for example, which turns off traction control, and you get a little animations for each one as well. So that's a nice touch. I'll pop it back into auto for now. And the steering wheel itself is a very nice design. These buttons, I think, could be a little bit nicer feeling for this price tag, though they're pretty simple and easy to use. Left-hand side, we can control our gauge cluster here, so we have that screens, or we can kind of pop up to this card style layout here, which is a little bit interesting. I'm not the biggest fan of this. I wish there was a little bit more customizability in terms of how you can view this instrument cluster. You can also kind of cycle through those cards by going up and down, and it will pop up all of these different individual displays, or you can cycle back to this main card display. And each of these are also configurable. Just can get a little bit confusing, I think, to look at sometimes. We also do have a heads-up display over here, which is actually well integrated, though I will say this piece keeps popping out over the course of this week, and it's kind of been causing some glare. On the right-hand side over here, we have full hands-free driving, actually. So we have a monitor here for your eyes. Turn on this little Ram icon right here, and that will kind of activate your full adaptive cruise control with that hands-free mode on certain select roads, which actually is quite nice. This whole screen does illuminate green for you to let you know you're even in that hands-free mode. I actually quite like that. We also have an adjustable pedal box over here, which is a nice feature. It's a luxury touch. And I do want to talk about these seat controls here, because there's so many seat controls. You actually go through this infotainment screen, go to comfort area over here, and it'll eventually get there. I have to say there's been some lag with the screen over the week. You can get to your seat controls, so you can see all of the different lumbar controls you have in this infotainment system, just to control each the driver and passenger seat. And it has all of the massaging controls as well. So there's a lot of massage climate and comfort controls for your seats in this vehicle. Heated, cooled seats in all 4 corners, which is really, really cool. We also do have this shifter control here, which thankfully is kind of differentiated versus the volume knob. I think Stellantis has had that issue in the past, but really nice design. It feels like metal. It has a cool application to it, so when you're in park and foot's not on the brake, it kind of just rotates back to place. Has this nice resistance to it. Popping it in reverse is pretty easy. When you put your foot on the brake, you get this camera system that pops up over here, and it is a very clear camera system. I don't like how it's only on this top view, but you have so many views in this vehicle. You even connect it to auxiliary cameras. You can have favorite cameras. You can go for the curve view here. It's pretty endless. So lots of visibility around this vehicle, which I do quite like. You have neutral and drive as well. Pretty easy to use this controller here. No complaints there. We also have a very simple way to change for a transfer case from 2-wheel drive high, 4 high, 4 auto, 4 low. I love that it has a 4 auto mode. Nice luxury truck feature there. Some trucks and SUVs with these transfer case systems still actually don't even offer this, I've noticed, in 2024. But nonetheless, we have it here. And then we have this gorgeous new display up here. And this thing is massive. It's so big it even like sticks out over the dash just a little bit. And while it is quite gorgeous, I have found it a little bit confusing and clunky to use. And I don't mean this in a bad way. I would love for them to improve this going forward, but there's just been so many lags and glitches here. Like sometimes I go to a menu and it just doesn't load sometimes. It may take some time to even get to different menus as well. Like the comfort menu, I found the massage frequently has kind of had some issues with over the course of this week, where I've had to like turn the vehicle on and off. This is a brand new truck, so I'm not going to really hamper on it. I know there's going to be software updates and better versions rolling out immediately, but I'm just speaking on my experience over the course of this week. Really nice display. It's pretty easy to use. Apple CarPlay is just absolutely massive. And even if you use the inbuilt kind of navigation systems, the mapping is just huge. You really never feel like you can't see anything on this display. And we have a nice amount of physical buttons along the display for our climate controls, physical volume and tuning knobs. You can even just turn the screen off super easily by pressing this button. But there are some critical controls in here. Since this has the trailer and tow package, we do get a trailer brake controller here, a trailer steering controller, and you can quickly access your front and rear parking sensors and quickly raise and lower your air suspension, all from this touchscreen panel here. So, you know, if something ever goes wrong with this, you may have some problems controlling some of these features. So that's one thing to keep in mind. But other Rams will have different sizes displays. Now, the storage area here on the center console is, oh, it's just truly insane. Not only is this center console area here really nice with this tungsten logo here, we have the VIN number even etched onto it. It just opens up to this vast, enormous, cavernous space over here. I literally can fit my laptop in here, which is like a 15-inch laptop. Fun little Easter eggs we've seen before previously on Rams. We have some more Easter eggs down here in this kind of cargo divider showing a whole bunch of Rams of the past, which is a cool touch. And I have some storage, just some stuff stored down here. But this entire center console over here then moves. We have that cool, nice trim here exclusive to the Tungsten models. Move this all the way back, then you unlock even more storage over here. And this is actually completely hollow underneath, which is how I was able to fit my laptop in here. And it's actually very well-built control over here. It feels very solid with nice felt-lined box over here, as well as 2 cup holders. Incredible amounts of storage here, really impressive. And I also want to talk about this Ram charger over here. Now, we know the Ram charger 1500 is coming soon with its plug-in hybrid model, but they're calling this dual wireless charger the Ram charger, which is literally says it right here. I know it might be a little bit hard to see, but pretty cool. 2 wireless chargers, really nice touch, and they both work well. They have these grips in here so your phones don't slide around. And you can just see how many charging controls you actually have down here, as well as this HDMI switch, which you are able to kind of connect to this passenger display to access some features in there. This passenger display can also connect to Bluetooth as well, so pretty cool connectivity in there. This infotainment system, like I said, you know, it's generally quite good. It's the latest Uconnect system. You have a lot of app drawer style display here. It's very much like the new iDrive style system they're doing in terms of app layout and orientation. You can favorite them. Just sometimes it's just a little bit clunky to kind of get through, especially when you're going through the settings. You definitely takes time to get used to if you're not familiar with the Uconnect family of softwares. Otherwise, I think it's going to be okay long term. This is a really nice design stuff here. I think this Klipsch reference audio system, we do have a Klipsch screen that pops up here, so when you are using audio, kind of displays this waveform here, though there isn't too much in terms of audio adjustment actually, which I do quite like in these more higher end audio systems. I think more options is a nicer luxury feature than less options. We even have more storage over here in this glove box area, and some more storage on these little side cubbies over here. So storage, like I said, is endless, as well as this camera as a mirror option is a wonderful feature, especially when you're kind of maybe you have a trailer or something back there, or something that could be blocking your view. This could be a nice touch to have, but you also have that regular manual mirror option, as they all do as well. Overall, I have to say, really nice interior space. The air suspension makes this thing so cushy to just drive around and cruise around on. The technology, you know, it's good. It's very similar to what I found in last year's Grand Cherokee. So it's a lot of the same kind of comments and complaints as I had on those here. But, you know, it's been improving, I think, overall. Apple CarPlay, for example, have had zero issues connecting with, which I think is a fantastic thing. I've noticed some things on the screen in some occasions can be just a little bit laggy and glitchy. Other than that, pretty solid. And let's go take this thing on a drive. So we're gonna come out to the highway here. Let's open up this twin turbo inline-6 just a little bit. Whoa, it's a potent powertrain, and I have to say it's incredibly smooth. One of the nice smooth engines I've experienced so far in a lot of these modern vehicles. So honestly, good impressions off the start. This air suspension ride is just sublime. It's really good, actually. It kind of just dances across the road so subtly. It's like it's tiptoeing across bumps and undulations. And just because of the size of this vehicle and the weight of this vehicle, you really don't feel much. It almost feels like an EV in that sense, where it has that weight and a good suspension to kind of dampen out all that fun stuff. Now, again, power is really good. We also have drive modes here, which are located on the steering wheel. I want to pop it into sport mode for you guys, because shockingly, it does have a sport mode. I don't want tow haul mode. Like I said, some of the software is a little bit glitchy sometimes. It doesn't like to select things, but you do get a cool animation when that kind of confirms you're in a certain drive mode. And here we actually have traction off, so it actually turns traction off when you are in sport mode. It lowers you down to the aerodynamic ride height for better control and aerodynamics as well. It usually will do that on the highway just to help you with aero. And let me tell you, this engine is a beast. It really gets up and goes really fast. You hear those turbos spool up very aggressively as well. I honestly wasn't expecting that. The only thing, really nice power there. I'm really excited to try this in the upcoming new Charger Daytona gas version. But what I was saying was, the only real issue here is the exhaust is just not good. And I mentioned that a little bit earlier. You're losing that V8 sound, and inline sixes can sound very, very good, but I'm surprised they didn't tune this to sound a little bit crazy. That might be for that other unique version that's coming out that has more of a performance edge to it. Again, this is more luxury focused trucks here in the Tungsten, so they're probably going to want to be focusing more on luxury and power and just comfort and smoothness versus loud sounds and crazy abilities. This has crazy abilities on the luxury side though. Let's pop it back over into auto mode. I think that's the best mode to normally leave it in. You also have 4-wheel drive auto, 2-wheel drive for high and for low right at your fingertips, and they all work and kind of transition quite easily. If you're really going to want the best fuel economy out of this whole powertrain, just pop it back into 2-wheel drive. It's rear-wheel drive, which is pretty much what you're going to be driving most of the time. And yeah, it's just really comfortable. And for the size of this thing on the road, I have to say the safety systems really keep it in lanes very well. And I do really want to test out this self-driving style system that we do have here on the Ram. So let's try it out. I actually have not even tested it yet. So we're gonna be a first look test right here. So let's pop on our little Ram logo here. It says acting driving assist ready. I'm gonna press set, and voila, it's set. So we have our set speed here, we have a distance control, very easy to maneuver right there. I really like that. That's about it. Now, I don't believe it's available to go in that full kind of hands-free style driving mode just yet. I think it's only on select roads. I do not believe this is a road that will do that, because I know from experience this whole thing will light up green when it has that full steering assist. But we can check by cycling through some of these screens here to see if we can go to our safety system display. It says no hands-free, look forward. So I actually really like how they tell you that it's not in hands-free mode instead of just giving you interesting icons. Now it's doing hands-free. Look at that, just as I was poking it to do it. And I like the little Ram logos on there. It's a really cool touch around the vehicle. And the first thing that I personally not too much of a fan of is how this dash can be laid out. It's a fully digital cluster like I mentioned earlier, but I like the bronzish color that kind of fits with the rest of the interior. What I don't like is this screen. It's just so unusual. I hope it's coming across on camera really well. It's just very unusual, and I thought it was just like you can kind of select each one, which you sort of can, and open it up to like the full dash page, but that's kind of tiny. And these cards you can kind of like configure, but only some can have certain things on it. Very interesting. It's definitely not for everyone, but it's an option. And of course you can go to like the full screen thing and just kind of cycle through your own screens that you want to see. I'm more than fine enough with the speed in front of me, including the heads-up display. It's looking at the speed as well. We're getting, let's go back to our page if I can find it, 11.4 mpg average over 41.8 miles. Not super good, especially for an engine that's meant to be more efficient than the V8 it's replacing, while having like, you know, more power, lower end torque. Now, to be completely fair, we've pretty much been driving in largely this for the whole time, which is not good for fuel economy in general, unless you're on like an EV, so you can regen all the time. But yeah, so hopefully I'll have a chance to drive this a little bit longer on a longer non-traffic highway stretch to get a better impressions of fuel economy. But the EPA numbers, I believe, aren't even out yet, I think, for this vehicle. Unless they are, I'll include them within the video. Love the massage. I'm just gonna go back to that one again. I was playing through all the different massages over this drive. Wow, that's good. That might be one of the best features of this interior so far, is that massage is impressive. It feels even more expensive than how expensive this truck is. It's like that, it's that good. Well, okay everyone, I've reached my destination and I do have to wait for a little bit, but let's check out some statistics. 12.2 miles per gallon, so we went up at about 1 mile per gallon of actual highway driving. So it's definitely can go up. This says like 30 plus, so I think you are driving on highway trips, you know, coasting more, just coasting high speed, engine can rev a little bit lower. This can probably get pretty good MPG, but for the driving we just did, you know, it wasn't super impressive. Anyways, you know, this truck still is very comfortable. It's quite nice in here. It's a really nice place to be for like a luxury truck, and it was pretty fun on this first impression drive, especially getting to drive it where I just did. And I'm gonna turn it off real quick. I want to show you guys the coolest animation feature I've ever seen on a new pickup truck these days for the head and tail lights. They're pretty cool. Check that out. Anyways guys, this has been a first impression of the 2025 Ram 1500 Tungsten with the new twin turbo inline 6. And as always, stay tuned for more coming out Allcarnews. Cheers.